on your wrist, a plain Jane.
The following video is broadcasting live, and thank you for being my studio audience. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. What up and welcome back. It's your girl Jane, the plainest Jane, and we got some syrup to get into. Things have gotten pretty sticky lately, and I know it's been a while since I did a live stream, and basically when I drove the black news bus, okay, which is when listen, we take a social media stroll and we go over black news. We talk about things going on inside of the celebrity and entertainment world. And we talk about real and everyday things that are affecting everyday people like you and me. And you know, I'm always going to throw a dab of black history up in that joint as well. It has been a while since I have given you a full flushed show with several different topics. Lately, I've been doing a lot of just really potent videos on a singular subject. And I really kind of got along about on that track when I was covering the tragic story of Everett Jackson, because when you're covering something like Everett Jackson, like you just don't want to surround it with, and at least I don't, with entertainment and stuff like that. And then shout out to everyone who saw my last video as well, which is about the truth about Robin S. and Andrea Martin and the Show Me Love song, which is what Beyonce used, which Beyonce song is an interpolation of that song. But listen, shout out to everybody who caught that video. We've got some topics that we need to discuss. I am a fan of Wendy Williams. I've been pretty critical of her in my commentary, despite the fact that I look up to her, despite the fact that I've studied her, because she paved the way. She might be nasty, mean, rude, all that stuff. That stuff is undeniable. And I can't even throw on a cape and try to save her from said things. However, you can't act like as a woman in the entertainment industry behind the microphone, whether you're on TV, radio, podcast, syndicate, whatever the case is. Wendy has paved the way. She as a woman of color, okay? But I've been pretty critical of her, and I think that that's fair because she's been overly critical of a lot of people, and some people feel like this is Wendy's karma, and I'm like, is that true, or is that mean, or are people just trying to get their little jabs, since Wendy literally has been getting jabs in at the whole world, including Beyonce and the girls, okay, Destiny's Child, for well over 30 years, right? So I want to know your thoughts on that, and we're really going to break down what happened today, because what happened today, it was hard to watch from Wendy Williams, but nonetheless, listen, come on and find your seat on the bus. If you haven't hit thumbs up already, make sure you do so. It is free, all right? It's free to support this situation over here. You ain't got to pay to donate. You can donate for free by hitting that like button. Take it a step further by subscribing, but feel free to send a Cash App or a Super Chat if you just so feel, but it's not required. It is required that you hit thumbs up though. But nonetheless, look, I hope that y'all are having a beautiful week. It is technically Wednesday over here in Baltimore because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But, that's okay. I got off work around 5 o'clock, had a little bit of relaxation time, and now I'm here to dish y'all the syrup. So shout out to everybody in the live chat. I see a lot of pancakes in the chat. Thank y'all so much. Special shout out to all of my channel members. Okay? Now, let's get ready for takeoff. We've got some things to get into. I might drop the link in the chat. You just got to be watching. You just got to be watching. I ain't going to announce it. I'm going to drop the link. If you got something to say, you got something to say. If you don't, you don't. If you want to call in, call in. If you don't, you don't. Let's get ready for takeoff and get into the subjects that we have going on this evening. Some people think Taraji P. Henson is a mammy. I think that Wendy Williams' team is trash. I want to talk about Go PAPI, Caresha, okay, from the City Girls. And there's some other things we need to discuss as well. Sha'Carri P. Henson, and even a little Deborah or Kelly is up in this joint. We've got a full-fledged show ahead of us. Get comfortable. Don't make me fight you for not hitting the thumbs up button, but let's go.
The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
All right. So, listen, I always tell you, make sure you got your mental health in check before you get to dibbling and dabbling and whatever it is that we're talking about. Celebrity world, real world, it's always polarized and controversial. So make sure you've tapped into your invisible issues. Shout out to my new subscribers. And of course, if you haven't already taken a moment to subscribe to this channel for more Black news and breaking celebrity updates, make sure you do so now. And don't forget to think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. All right. So we got all the housekeeping out the way. We only 5 minutes in, getting comfortable. Let me know how y'all feel down below in the chat. I want to talk about Wendy, right? It's so easy to make fun of this stuff. And of course, several jokes came to mind when I watched it, right? But everything you think and you don't say. Let me say this. It was so difficult for me to watch Wendy Williams in the TMZ interview today. It was painful. And at this point, I feel like Wendy is being exploited. I feel like she's being exploited. We're going to take some time. We're going to watch this clip of Wendy Williams, even if she didn't pull her foot up on the screen, right? Which is the highlight. Even if she didn't pull her foot up on the screen, it was still an atrocity. It was still a mess. She's not coherent, not sure what planet she's on, not sure if she's on any medication. But it seems like she's being exploited on two fronts, from the front of her team and whoever the hell them trash people is. And TMZ knew exactly what they were doing, all the way down to the photo that they used on the front of the story. It's really sad to see. I want to get into this video. It was so hard for me to watch earlier. My eyes almost watered. I ain't even going to stunt you. Because it's nothing worse than seeing an elder person just out and about doing things that you know ain't right, and they kind of need somebody with them. So let's get into what Wendy Williams was talking about with TMZ earlier. This was worse than the Fat Joe interview, I have to say. Hey, thanks for letting me keep you connected and in the know with what's happening in the Black world. Don't forget to smash on that like button for support and for more Black news. All right. So if you follow me on Twitter, shout out to my Twitter squad. Okay. There are plenty of folks who follow me on Twitter. And listen, we cut up all day and cause a lot of friendly chaos. So I'm going to have to keep this little on the screen. Okay. Not because I want y'all to suffer and have to squint, but because I ain't trying to get no copyright from TMZ if I put it full screen on the video. But you can see enough and you can hear enough to understand that she is not well. She's not okay. She's not stable. That's just what it is. Let's get into it.
Big statement for somebody who's been a fixture on television that you just have no interest in anymore.
For more than a decade.
So tell us about
a very successful one.
So Morton and I talked, and I was like, I've got enough money to do something else. And what I've never done, podcasts, which, by the way, podcasts everyone has. But when you're famous, podcasts will make more money for me being famous than doing the Wendy Williams show. So podcast, where will I go? I'm not sure. Europe, the France, wherever I want to go. Also, I know Oz, I know, many people.
I'm wondering if part of the attraction to this is, one, that you can do it from wherever you want, and the schedule is not this daily grind that you had to do with your daytime show. Was that part of the attraction?
Yes. Will and I are in partnership. Like I told you, Will did all this for me. And so Will and I are partnership. And what the beginning of what we're going to do, podcast, will be with a certain person. And then we will continue podcast. And, honestly, I don't know what podcast is. I can live for the rest of my life doing absolutely nothing. I can't wait to fall in love.
What does Wendy want to do in this show that's going to be different from your TV show?
Well, you guys, maybe sneakers. I've been on HSN and QVC, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I'll do something with that or something else. I have lymphedema. You know what that is, correct?
I know.
Okay, you don't know lymphedema? All right, I'll show you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Lymphedema is this. Do you see this right here? Look.
Okay.
No, look closely.
Right.
Hold up, please. Will, hold up. I can't hold it higher. Do you see?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah.
Okay, do you see this?
Yes.
All right, it's up and down. Okay. Okay, that is, I can only feel maybe 5% of my feet.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Right.
Which means normally I would be in a wheelchair. I'm not in a wheelchair. I stand up.
How are you feeling, Wendy? I know we saw some video of you out in New York City last night, and you seem to be moving well. I mean, how are you feeling just physically?
Better than you.
That's no doubt.
Imagine her. You know what? It's clear she's off her beaten rocker in some capacity. But she still got energy to be shady and say that she's feeling better than you know, people who have health that is substantially better than hers. When I tell you she is going to go on to glory being the sassy queen that she is, she's going. It's not going to stop. Some people, they get older, they realize they're becoming a little decrepit. You know, the cycle of life, you're born a baby in Pampers, needing to be pushed around in a stroller. The end of the cycle of life, a lot of times it's very similar. Depends, wheelchairs, you got to be pushed around and cared for like you're an infant all over again. And some people, they start reaching these points and figuring out these telltale signs within their own life, and they become nicer. Some of them become a bit more bitter and a bit more nasty. Let me know what side of the coin or the scale you think Wendy falls on.
By the way, there's no doubt. Is this a semi-retirement for you?
Excuse me. I am 100% retired in the Wendy Williams show. And I don't want to be on TV except for guest hosting. Like I love Whoopi Goldberg. I love The View. I love those girls. You know, an hour, you know, 2 hours, you know, but I don't want to be in partnership, maybe, or maybe not. But I don't know, you know?
So I want to go back to this timestamp around about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, because you can hear her say, no, Will, but at the same time.
Lymphedema is this. Do you see this right here? Look.
Okay.
No.
Look. She told us. Look. Okay, girl, we see it. Not like it's a teeny little thing we got to zoom in on, girl. You look like a pig feet. You know what I'm saying?
No, look closely.
Look.
Right.
Hold up, please. Will, hold up. I can't hold it higher. Do you see?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah.
Okay, do you see this?
Yes.
All right, it's up and down. Okay. Okay, that is, I can only feel maybe 5% of my feet.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Right.
I can't hold it high.
Sure.
Okay, lymphedema is this. Do you see this right here? Look.
Okay.
No, look closely.
Right.
Hold up, please. Will.
You heard that? She said, hold up, please, Will. Will is the name of her current manager. Her current manager is Will Selby. So that timestamp is 2:23, okay? Or 2:20 for me to remember that moving forward. So Will was kind of telling her to put her foot down. Imagine with somebody telling you, put your foot down. It typically means stand up for yourself. In this instance, it meant, girl, put your foot down. They don't want to see it. It's inappropriate. It's uncalled for. The blogs, the way that they are going to run, sprint, and hike with this photo. This lets me know that Wendy really is not in her best. See, one thing about Wendy is she understands the media to the T. At least when she was in her, when she was in a better place mentally. She knows how the media works. Wendy has been using the media For years. No different than how Kim Kardashian does. Kim Kardashian wears an outfit. She don't want to go in the house if the paparazzi haven't snapped a photo in it. If she really feels like the outfit is popping, her makeup, her whole look is popping, what she does is she'll anonymously or have one of her team members call the media and say, hey, Kim Kardashian is going to be at this place at this time, show up, so that she can pop up in the blogs the next day. Wendy has always done the same thing. Wendy has always had a great working understanding of how the media works on both fronts, good, bad, and indifferent. And even to cause a little controversy when she maybe 30% of people will drag me, maybe 70% will stand up for me. The fact that she's lost all of this, she's already shown us these feet before. And I'm not saying that awareness like this isn't a good thing. I'm not saying it's not necessary. But there are other ways she could advocate for lymphedema knowledge. You know what I'm saying? To help people understand how to deal with it. What are the signs? This was not a good look. The foot was the icing on the cake. Damn, she put her foot in the cake. Yeah, the foot was the icing on the cake. She's not well. She's not coherent. Wendy, the way she said podcast, and then one sentence in here, she said, I don't even know what a podcast is. So she's shopping around a $1 million podcast deal that has not been picked up yet, mind you. And she's out here looking like this. Listen, Wendy, they are trying to Britney Spears you already. They're trying to Britney Spears you. And whoever your team is right now, they're making it a bit easier. I mean, you're still fighting with Wells Fargo to get your money because they feel like you need a conservatorship. They feel like you need a financial guardian because you're not in your right state of mind. This don't help, baby. You haven't even inked a deal and no one's picked up your podcast yet. You look like a liability. This is not bankability right here. And I'm only saying this honestly out of genuine care and concern. Yeah, Wendy has talked a lot of crap and some people feel like I extend too much grace to Wendy Williams. Talking crap about somebody and hoping that they die broke, right? That their health fails and that they don't have money. Those are two different things. You know what I'm saying? So the jokes, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, throwing this foot up like this and people already say that you look like E.T., this wasn't a good idea at all. On top of the fact that you're not in the right mind. It's not given. That's why I'm saying Wendy is human too. And she's been very nasty. And trust me, I've drugged Wendy many a day. I ain't even gonna stunt you. But again, I'm not saying I hope that her health continues to decline, that she continues to be broke, and that she can't live, because giving crappy commentary or being spiteful with your words doesn't mean that you shouldn't have the resources. Because if Wendy's broke and she got all these health problems, how the hell is she going? How's she going to take care of herself? This is an expensive disability here. She showed us the machines that she got to wrap her legs up and things like this. Look, I really feel like her team is exploiting her, and I feel like her team wants her to be admitted. You had a member of her team literally take her American Express card, spend $10,000 on an attorney to get the paperwork to put her in a guardianship, which they sort of successfully did. Then they took that paperwork and someone else went ahead and got doctors without Wendy's consent. They went and got some of her doctors' information, which is a HIPAA violation. So with the guardianship paperwork that someone stole $10,000 from her in order to get, mixed with them stealing some information from her doctors, took that to Wells Fargo. Now her money's locked up. And so whoever it is that she's trusting around her right now, I'm not sure that they have her best interest at heart. I think that they are definitely ruining what's left of Wendy Williams' legacy. I think that her team is for sure, without a doubt, exploiting her. I think that they look at Wendy because Wendy is a cash cow. Okay? Wendy is a cash cow. And it seems that the people that she's surrounded by, although she feels safe now, they're greedy. It seems that they're very opportunistic. They want to get what they can get while she's here. And look, Wendy is a vulnerable adult. Look at her. And I'm not trying to make fun of her. I've worked in the customer service industry all of my life. And some of the different places that I've worked, I've seen up close and personal, and even some family members. My great grandmother, God rest her soul, my great grandfather's on his way to meet her. When they start like losing their mind a little bit, it's really sad to see, especially if they don't have somebody to keep them on track. And God forbid they're like a fussy person that doesn't want to accept the help that somebody of sane mind is trying to give them. She's a vulnerable adult, and I do feel like she's being taken advantage of and she's being exploited. This is legitimately elder abuse, what we witnessed. Her team is exploiting her. TMZ, in the midst of this whole interview, you could kind of see between Harvey, TMZ interviewing her, every time the camera went back to them, it's kind of like they were holding back a smile. They knew they had a viral moment off of Wendy. They knew her holding up that foot. They knew her not being able to hold a coherent thought and have a conversation. We saw on her interview with Fat Joe, she was not able to hold a straight conversation. She's all over the place. And that's what happens when you get older sometimes. But it's really sad to see it on full display this way. It's really sad that they won't. Listen, Wendy Williams is the type of person where, just like with certain artists, they can go away for a certain amount of time. And the demand, their audience, their fan base, they're going to be right there waiting to cheer them on when they come back. Wendy is not a person where she got to make an appearance every week or a couple times a week in order to make sure her fans still F with her. Nobody's going to forget about Wendy Williams. Good, bad, and indifferent, nasty, all her, nobody's going to forget about all the mess that she's done. But one thing is for sure, her fan base is strong. And even the haters that want to watch, that want to give commentary, is strong. So if Wendy would take her little 2-3 months, however long, to herself, Wendy always feels obligated. Let me slap on a wig and throw on this lipstick, looking like she just woke up, and let me go get in front of the paparazzi. No. Let me go get in front of a camera. Who's going to interview me? No. Wait until you're okay. I'm not sure if she's on medication or if she's losing her grip. But it is really sad to see. She's 57 years old. Someone in the comments said, how old is she? She's just 57 years old. I'm not sure if she's a little young for dementia, Alzheimer's. Wendy has been on some, listen, everybody aged differently. It's not like everybody got the same median age of when they kind of like lose their grip. And Wendy has been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? And she's been on a lot of hard drugs too. In the past, right? She's been open about that. That's not me like exposing tea or telling y'all something y'all don't know. She's been open about abusing, drugs. So look, not to mention the heartbreak and the devastation and losing both of her parents, losing her husband embarrassing her in front of the world. Wendy ain't had it easy. So this is really unfortunate. They think that they're going to be able to shop this podcast around and get someone to pick it up, whether it be Spotify or whatever. And all she can say is podcast and more money. I don't want TV. Well, Wendy Williams has some possible guests that she claims are interested or could potentially be on the podcast if and when it gets started. My question to you all, Stickies, is, have you hit the thumbs up button? But no, for real. Do you think that this podcast is going to come to fruition? Based on this video right here, I'm not sure. It did seem like Wendy was reading off of a teleprompter in this interview situation. And even with the few words that she had in the teleprompter, she didn't do good reading it at all. She didn't do good staying on task with the couple of sentences that she had to deliver. She just didn't. And that's really sad. It seems like Wendy Williams has Snoop Dogg, Fat Joe, one of the Kardashians, and even a member of the Trump family lined up to be on her podcast if and when the podcast does take off. So it seems like she's in negotiations. They've pitched these individuals. The individuals seem to want to be biting, but the podcast either, number one, has to be picked up by a major platform, a Spotify or whatever, or Wendy's going to have to do it her own, out of her own pocket, without a deal, without that advertisement. So, it's concerning because podcasts, it would almost be easier for her to do her own show at home. You can plan in the breaks. You can edit in the breaks, edit in your commercials, ads, whatever. But a podcast is a more of a long form listen. Even if it's 27 minutes at minimum, you take a listen to podcast. It's not a whole bunch of editing and this segment, and then you edit something in, and you can take a break, and then you can edit. Like a podcast is a more long form. You have to sit there behind that microphone. Forget how you look, because that's not what it's about, right? There's no visual to a legitimate podcast. Some people do that bonus stuff, but you sit there, you just have to focus with that microphone. And for some people, it's easier. They don't have to worry about being pretty, getting ready, you know what I'm saying, making sure they look okay. They only have to worry about talking on that microphone. Wendy cannot keep a straight thought. How the hell? And this is an honest question. I'm not saying she can't do it, because I'm hoping that she can't. It doesn't seem like she's capable. It doesn't even seem like her team has enough sense to say, look, we're shopping around this podcast. In the meantime, we're going to get you well. We're going to keep you out of the public's eye so that they don't have a reason to doubt you and to look at you like a liability, because she definitely became a liability to her own show. All of the moments of her stuttering and murmuring and fainting and slurring her words and not knowing where she was and not knowing the names of the people she needed to be talking about and not even being able to read the teleprompter on her own show is part of the reason why she got booted off of her own show, because she became a liability. The insurance couldn't even cover her mistakes anymore. So I'm not sure that Wendy can really handle this. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. It seems like Wendy's brother really wants her to sit down. Her brother does irritate me to an extent, because he tries to get a lot of clout off of her name, and God knows they look just alike. They're both the same shade, same teeth, same smile. He's just a really skinny guy. But I follow Wendy Williams and all the things that she does, because her journey is phenomenal. But the way that she's going down without taking a break and really making sure she's okay, or at least her team, look, it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. She's a vulnerable adult, and vulnerable adults are no different than children. Again, the cycle of life. You're born needing diapers, being pushed around in a stroller, and needing somebody to care for you, because you can't do it all yourself as a baby, as an infant. The cycle of life towards the end, it's the same way. Depends in wheelchairs. And not being in your right state of mind. Some of the stuff Wendy be saying is literally gaga goo goo. Like, what is she talking about? No different than similarity to kids. That parallel is everybody cannot watch your kids. The same way everybody cannot be taken care of, or what she can't be trusting of any and everybody to take care of her. I worry about these people, if they really care about Wendy. I worry about if they really have good intentions for her, and if they truly have her best interest. That's what I worry about. Let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comments, stickies, because look. Now, Wendy Williams' father, he's still here. He's 91 this year. Ooh, long, fruitful life. So I just want Wendy to take care of herself, because it just doesn't look good. Whether she was doing a podcast or trying to do a podcast or not, I would just hope that she's okay. That Judge Mathis interview was a train wreck, but Wendy didn't lie about him and the woman. That's why he got so mad. Child. James Weeping Bush is in the building. What is going on? Okay. So, yeah, I look up Judge Mathis and Wendy. So, yeah, now what I want to do, I'm going to get into Shikari Richardson. Have y'all been seeing what Shikari has been having go on this week? It has not been a good week for Shikari, and I'm like, girl, stop talking. Shikari she needs help. Right. And I'm only saying it in the sense of PR. Everybody needs help, right? Whether it is them needing somebody to talk to, therapy to make sure their mental health is okay, especially when you're in the public eye, right? Because you were like meat on a bone. Like, people just want to rip you apart. It don't matter if you are the best thing walking this earth. people are going to want to rip you apart. So I think it's important to keep your mental health intact, right? But that's not what I'm implying when I say Shikari Richardson needs help. Okay. Wait, someone says, girl, they can't control her. She's her own woman. I can't control my great-grandfather either, but he does need help. Let me tell you something about my great-grandfather and about old people, just to bring it home for the people who don't get it. Because I get that Wendy is her own person, but at some point you become a certain age and you aren't capable of making the best decisions for yourself because your mind slips. My great-grandfather, God rest his soul, not even God rest his soul, excuse me, my great-grandmother has. Matter of fact, it's my grandfather. That's who it is. He's in a home now, but they lose their sense of sanity to an extent. And he would go out and he would drive and hit several cars at a time. And he would have this little composition notebook in his car. And he would write like, I'm sorry for hitting your car, and leave it on that car and keep going. I mean, he done came home and he just swiped 4 cars. So as a family, we had to, us telling him, hey, you can't drive. You know what I'm saying? Like you are impaired. He didn't want to listen to us, but not only was he a danger to other people, he was a danger to himself. He could have killed somebody because he just didn't want to accept the fact that I don't have the senses to drive anymore, whether it be vision or whatever it is. So we had to write an anonymous letter to the NVA to ask them to revoke his license because we'd seen what he'd been doing. He would get home and we'd be like, Grandpa, you hit a car. I ain't hit no cars. It ain't nothing. It's again, when I give this analogy all the time. When you become older, and granted, most people at 57, they not at that point, but I don't know what Wendy is on. I don't know if it's drugs or she's getting old. When I say drugs, I mean medication. Because Wendy, I think she's a little bit too old to just be doing a little something. I don't know. She could be on medication, but it seems like her mind's slipping and she does need help making vital decisions. She can't even do basic interviews without making herself look crazy. So sometimes elder people, they need help making decisions. And it's not always dementia or whatever the case is. But yeah, we had to write the NVA and ask them to revoke his license and list the instances and to why. And they sent a letter home and they let him know, hey, we taking your license. He wouldn't listen to us as regular family members. We had to get Motor Vehicle Administration to revoke his license because we couldn't just tell him not to drive. He wasn't fit because he's his own man, right? So that's what I mean when I talk about older people not being able to make the best decisions for themselves. That's what I mean. It's not about them controlling her. We know that she doesn't want them to control her money. But if she's willing to do interviews like this, if she thinks, when you're doing an interview, whether it be an interview like this and you're Wendy Williams or whether it be a job interview, they're almost similar. Because you're putting your best foot forward to give yourself the exposure because you think that you're putting yourself in the best light when you're doing an interview like that. If Wendy Williams really thought that interview from today was okay, something's wrong. She really thought she did good. And she did not. So you got to imagine if that's the best foot that she's putting forward for the world. Imagine what's going on in her everyday life and some of the wrong decisions she's making. And not wrong like, her being mean or intentional about it. Just, she doesn't have a grip. And again, sometimes, depending on what medication you want, it puts you in a whole nother galaxy. But if she's on a certain medication, she definitely shouldn't be on camera. Her team shouldn't know that. If she doesn't know that because she's in another galaxy. But whether it's medication or just her losing her grip, she should not have been on camera like that because TMZ definitely exploited her. But I think her team led her to that water. Oh, I said best foot. Wait, I said best. Oh, damn, I did. I didn't realize I said that. Look. I didn't realize I said that. I really didn't. I'm like, what y'all talking about? Best foot forward. I did say that. But I wasn't trying to be mean, though. But why would she? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go to the bush.
It was gone. Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
This is a good point. James Weeping Bush, shout out to you, says, Wendy needs to pre-record all interviews for a while. That's a really good suggestion. That's a really, really, really good suggestion for her. That would be good. It's got to be edited. And honestly, I think, listen, I know y'all hate Kelvin. I don't like him either. I do not like her ex-husband. But what I can say, and this is something that honestly my subscribers on my old channel before I got deleted, they was telling me, like, listen, he keeps her together. He keeps her together, although he breaks her apart. And I hated the way that sounded. I'm like, what you mean? He embarrassed her. He humiliated her. What you mean? And it took me a second to really step back and see the bigger picture, because I'm emotional about it, right? I'm like, this nigga humiliated you in front of the world, had a side baby, had you out here looking crazy. Like, what you mean? But one thing he does care about is her business affairs. Could it be because if all of Wendy Williams' money runs dry, so does Kelvin's? That could be a reason. That could be part of his motivation. The fact of the matter is, when Wendy Williams was not treated correctly on that show, when they disrespected her with that last episode without even trying to collect a pre-recorded goodbye so long, the way they excluded her and pretended she didn't even exist, Kelvin was the one that got online and said, that's foul what y'all did to Wendy. So when it comes to Wendy's, and not to mention, he went live on Instagram for well over an hour complaining about, what is it, Delbar Mercury? So when it comes to Wendy's business affairs, Kelvin does actually give a fuck. His motive behind it, maybe it could be lining his pockets too. But Kelvin ain't just going to stand by and watch her just. So I think that if she's going to do pre-recorded interviews, they need to go through Kelvin. I do think he's a trash emotionally. But one thing is for sure, is when they do Wendy wrong, he going to speak up about it. He's going to release a statement. And that's just what it is. So now, the current person that is her manager was some guy that was her love interest, like earlier this year, a mess. His name is Will Selby. And they were like in a romantic situation last year. But the whole thing just seems a hot mess. A hot mess. They said Wendy put her best foot forward literally today on TMZ. I guess she did. I guess she did. Y'all think Kelvin had Wells Fargo inside connection to protect her? I don't think so, because her money is still tied up there. And if her money's tied up, that means his money's tied up, because his money is tied into her. Remember, she's paying alimony to him. So if her money's tied up, she can't pay him alimony. So he's advocating to get her money out, but her money's still up in there. So there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, she did have to pay. So she only had enough to pay her bills. Yes, that was what the judge granted, was that the only bill, matter of fact, the only bills she could pay were the bills that she had already paid from that account. She couldn't just draw up new bills that had never been drafted from that account before. So, regardless of why he's got her best financial interest or her best interest when it comes to her reputation and business endeavors, between him and her son, their son together, seems like they care the best. But I don't know if they're around. I don't know if Kelvin is watching this. I was looking at Kelvin online this weekend, and he was at strip clubs and stuff, girl. Just a hot ass mess. And I hate to say that a woman needs a man, and a man like that. My mother always taught me, don't ever tell a man you need him. And I have mixed feelings about that sentiment. That's a whole nother video. However, ain't nothing like feeling like you need a man that did Wendy the way that Kelvin did Wendy. That's something different. That's something different. But nonetheless, look, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. We are going to go ahead and move into the segment about Shikari Richardson, okay? So let's see if you're really about it. If you've been serious about what you've been saying about wanting to support more Black-owned businesses, here's your chance. I found a spot for us to grab our hats, hoodies, affordable electronics, phone accessories, and gadgets from. It's over on edwerso.com. That's EDWERSOW.com. Grab something for your hubby, your wife. Hey, I ain't encouraging that side chick behavior, but it's just in time for the holidays. So head on over there and grab your AirPod cases, hoodies, and affordable electronics. That's edwerso.com, EDWERSOW.com. And I'll see you over there. It's time to face it, boo. Your product needs more exposure. If you want to see your ad here on my channel, be sure to shoot an email over to yt.theplainestjane@gmail.com and let's chat. But if you're new in my neighborhood here on YouTube, hey, I'm The Plainest Jane, and I provide coverage and commentary on trending stories, viral events, and Black culture. I definitely appreciate you stopping through and hitting that subscribe button if you like more of my particular brand of syrup. And we are back. I see y'all sounding off in the comments. Some people said that's called needing the devil. Kevin Sr. is still trash. Oh, he's absolutely trash emotionally, but you name me somebody that's handled her business affairs better than Calvin has. Name me one, especially in the last couple of years. As soon as he left the picture, everything was downhill when it came to her business. So, James Weeping Bush said, Wendy better pull a set it off in Wells Fargo. I know that's right. Let's get into Shikari. Shikari needs help, in my opinion. She needs some good PR. You need a team that's going to be able to be stern with you and to tell you when you need to get it together, when you're messing up, and a team that's not scared of you, honestly. And not to say that your team needs to be aggressive with you, but they need to have the liberty to be assertive and let you know when you aren't making the best decisions for yourself. That goes for Wendy Williams. That goes for a Shikari. That goes for anybody. I think about Blac Chyna when I think about that too, because if everyone around you are yes men or yes woman, they're going to let you just, when Wendy got to the job and she always wanted this or that, she wanted to drink this or snort that, allegedly, and they gave it to her, she's up there looking crazy. Instead of somebody creating a cutoff limit for her or saying, no, we're not doing that today. So Shikari, I feel like she needs really good PR. I feel like she's good when she's not gloating, okay? And when she's not being sassy. But lately, baby, this has just not been a good week for her. And I have been cringing all the way through, okay? All the way through. Oh, somebody in the comments said, why you calling him Kelvin? His legal name is Kelvin, not Kevin. I guess that's what's going on in the chat, but I don't want to waste time in the video kind of sifting through the comments. But yes, his legal name is Kelvin. But nonetheless, let's get into a couple of clips from Shikari and then a post she put online, child. I thought things would get better from Shikari because she posted something that says she wished she never said what she said when she did the interview. I think it was like Good Morning America. She did the interview with them. And when she got caught with the weed in her system, right? But Shikari lost. Okay. She avoided the media after she failed to qualify for the 100 meters. Okay. So she is going to miss the World Championships in Oregon. Let's take a listen to Shikari's initial reaction, and then she doubled back and gave another reaction. And I'm like, young girl.
Hey, Shikari, any thoughts on the weekend? We all see some questions, Shikari? Are you injured?
That's that runner's walk. I remember that runner's walk. Look, I ran track for 2 days, and it was hell. It was hell, but outside of me just running track for them 2 days, oh, my legs was hurting for like days. But outside of that, like watching how the track team, they had like a specific walk, they do have a whole different strut about them. So let's get into Shikari popping off at the mouth to reporters because they trying to get statements after a race like they do after any sporting event, regardless of whether you win or lose. And I could see if they was like rubbing the loss in her face, but they kind of weren't. So, and sometimes silence is golden. You see, when you get football players and Marshawn Lynch and other folks up there, and they don't want to answer a question because they mad because they just lost, they just sit up there. I'm just here so I don't get fined. What? They ignore the question. They don't answer the question. They talk about the weather. They talk to the camera, but they don't have to talk about their loss. She needs some media training in the PR team.
Thanks for coming.
No problem.
Let's talk about the weekend as a whole.
No, I have what I have to say. Y'all can all take this interview and do whatever you want to do with it. I'm coming to speak not on just my behalf, but all athletes' behalf. That when you guys do interviews, y'all should respect athletes more. Y'all should understand them coming from whether they're winning, whether they're losing, whatever the case may be. Athletes deserve way more respect than when y'all just come and throw cameras into their faces. Understand how an athlete operates and then ask your questions. Then be more understanding of the fact that they are still human, no matter just the fact that y'all just trying to get something to put out in an article to make $1. Thank you.
She thought she ate. And then a girl in the background talking about period. Baby, you're an athlete. Ask Serena, will ask any other athlete how many times they've lost. Either they just walk past the camera or they find some way to deal with the questions without it's easy to dodge questions. But you know what I'm saying? Like this arrogantness about her. See, the thing is, whether you win or lose, a journalist and a reporter, they still got to ask their questions. You might not like it, and she was feeling feisty and upsetting in her feelings this day, but she don't got no problem running up to the camera when she win. Imagine if journalists only had, or reporters only had access to the athletes that won, and all the athletes that lost were exempt from having to do press. She needs to watch how Marshawn Lynch deals with the media after he loses or wins. Because he just don't like him. And he gets fined when he don't do it. And so he shows up and all he does is report the same thing over and over again. I'm just here so I don't get fined. So how you doing today? They ask him a question. He asks the same thing back to them. Learn how to play with these people and play in their faces. Don't let these people have you out here cussing folks out because you lost. Because it looks like poor sportsmanship. Tell me somebody else that ran this race or ran a race in the last couple months that did this shit. Shikari already has a boatload of negative press. Why add to it? She still has a lot of time to turn it around because she's young. But simple media training could have helped her out here. Hell, she could have finished walking and said, you know what? I'm upset because of Roe versus Wade. I'm upset because of women's rights. She could have used that moment to talk about anything. It would have went viral just the same. Instead, and this is something she walked in the back and read, and literally walked back out in a black shirt to give him this. So she was festering on it when she walked past him the first time. It's just not a good look. And I don't see athletes of any color acting like this. And don't get me wrong. I know white is not the standard. A lot of people like, white people don't do this. White is not the standard. I don't see other black folk, this folk, orange folk, brown folk. I don't see nobody else doing this type of stuff but her. And she's already regretful of some of her past decisions in the press. Why continue doing this? Does she feel like she doesn't need the help? Does she feel like, nah, I got it? Because, if somebody feels like they don't need help, then it's impossible for them to ever receive it. The first step to receiving help is admitting that you need it. Sha'Carri's attitude, I think, sometimes it gets in the way of the sport. You know what I'm saying? Like there was some times where she was about to be competing in a race and she was talking all this mess. I'm about to win. I'm about to win. I'm about to win. And then she lost. And most athletes, they don't tweet and talk like that. They busy studying and doing whatever. Sha'Carri has got a lot to learn, and I really hope that she learns it quickly. I have another post that I want to show you. If you ain't think that was arrogant enough. If you didn't think that was arrogant enough, let me show you something else from Instagram. Something she posted. She basically told everybody to kiss her ass. That's what she told people. Shout out to my girl, Kara Dangerous. This is from her Instagram page. She was able to capture this. And here's Sha'Carri. She says, to the ones that swear they know me and my story and think track run my life. And this gesture, she got her legs up, open, da da da. She's telling the people to kiss her ass. Baby, you lost and you want people to kiss that stinky, sweaty booty after you ran your ass off and lost. Make it make sense. Make it make some sense. Look, I want the best for you, baby. See, look, if somebody, if I don't know, if she had a grandmother alive or a good auntie that makes really good collard greens and throw down on Thanksgiving, like a big mama from Soul Food, to really sit down and talk to her and say, you can't be out here acting like that. I feel like one day that's gonna be me. Because I'm pretty blunt with the way I say it, because I say it with love because I want better for her. The same way I want better for Wendy. But girl, you gotta stop this. You do. Get you some PR. There are ways that you can strategically compartmentalize the feistiness and the anger you have, because right now it's nothing but a bad attitude and poor sportsmanship on display. That's what it is. They said FloJo would never. Okay. Somebody said, oh, I thought she had her arms open. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, she got her V in our face. She spoke on Roe versus Wade, but I'm saying in a midst when you're angry, right? She could have used that anger towards something. She was pissed off. She was upset. And if she could have just channeled that anger towards something that's worth being angry about instead of poor sportsmanship, it would have been a beautiful moment. You know what I'm saying? The same way sometimes you might get angry and frustrated, and some people, they go work out. Some people, they clean up because they do their best exercise, their best, cleaning when they're angry. It's called compartmentalizing those feelings, because however or whatever you are necessarily feeling a negative emotion towards, it doesn't mean that you need to unleash it and diminish your character, right? Because your explosion is not always, it's not ever typically a good representation of your character. And that's why it's important to realize when you need to move certain emotions around. It's okay to let those certain emotions out, but strategic. Like somebody, Shikari is ghetto and people enabled it and thought it was cute. Yeah. If her grandmother is still alive, I hope she sit her down. You know how the old folks say in the church, somebody sit them down. You know when somebody go up to the front of the church and they doing or saying something inappropriate? Somebody sit them down. Yeah, somebody sit her down and talk to her before she ruins everything, before she gets started. She's a very talented young girl. And she, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've always said a path that she could take is a step towards advocating towards healthy coping mechanisms. The first time she got caught with that weed in her system, she could have easily become, or, had her team, if she had a team, help her put together some sort of campaign, or something to help her advocate towards, because I get it, death in the family, the stresses of life, and to be an athlete and to blame it. Don't get me wrong. A lot of folks smoke, right? I don't smoke, but a lot of folks smoke. But a good way for the sake of PR is to say, listen, I was trying to cope with something in an unhealthy way. You know how many people are addicted to weed, are addicted to alcohol, are addicted to whatever substance or vice of their choice because it's an unhealthy coping mechanism? That is something that needs serious advocacy. And there is a need for that to be addressed, especially in the Black community. It would have been the perfect time for her. She would have been the perfect candidate to leverage a movement or a campaign or to become the figurehead or to help lift that sort of a movement for advocacy off the ground. But who listens to me? You know what I'm saying? I'm just a ghetto PR strategist. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope that Sha'Carri begins to make better decisions. And I hope that she uses whatever amount of money she has to get the help that she needs. Okay. Because a lot of this has been out of pocket, and it's really sad to see her spiral downward a little bit. She seems to be a hothead, and she's impulsive, and she lets her emotions get the best of her. And I hope that she improves. I really do. she at some point she's gonna get too old for this.
Nigga, you gotta be ashamed of yourself, nigga. Real talk. You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Old as you is.
All right, so let's move on to the next thing. I just want to touch on Tyler Perry real quick, just because why not, right? Before we get to talking about how some of y'all think that Taraji P. Henson is a mammy. I can't believe that some of y'all think that she's a mammy. That should hurt my feelings, okay? Some of y'all think Taraji's a mammy, but that's okay. But before we get to that, let's get into what Tyler. Did y'all hear what Tyler Perry did on Juneteenth? Did you all hear what Tyler Perry did on Juneteenth? Let me tell you something. Let me get Wendy's foot off the screen. Some people said she put her best foot forward. Baby, if that was her best foot, then keep her worst foot the hell away from me. Okay? If that was her best foot, I'm not interested in the worst foot, the other foot. Keep it.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?
Not somebody said Tyler Perry is a mammy. Oh my God. Tyler Perry, child, on Juneteenth, he held an appreciation luncheon in Atlanta for police. A police appreciation luncheon in Atlanta. You know how we talking about invisible rules to keeping your black card. Do you know the invisible rule about how anti-black you got to be to hold a pig appreciation luncheon on Juneteenth, a day for and about black liberation and emancipation? Tyler Perry, a day to memorialize the freedom of our ancestors. Our ancestors were able to finally enjoy freedom, and that's why we have a brand new holiday. Okay, it just became a federal holiday, and you choose that day to glorify the cops. A lot of cops are undercover KKKs. They just take their hoods off to go to work. And you chose Black Emancipation Day, Black Liberation Day, Black Independence Day. This is who you decided to celebrate and invite to your house acres of land with your own driveway. Not even driveway. Of course, you got a driveway. You have your own private jet landing. On Juneteenth, it's time to burn you at the stake, Tyler. I'm sick of you. You know, one of these days when I don't feel like getting the show together, I'm going to go ahead and put down my Tyler Perry video that got washed away in the flood when YouTube deleted my channel with 102,000 subscribers. I'm going to go ahead and put that video down again because I lost it. Because I have several talking points that I've memorized about how detrimental you are to the Black community. Raccoon is an understatement. There's a lot of potential there too, but listen, let me draw it back because this isn't about Tyler Perry films. It's about calling Tyler Perry out for this tap dancery. This is who he decided to celebrate. This is who he invited to his Juneteenth cookout. The cops. Totally off code. Totally off code. 195,000% off code. This is why we don't bang with you now. The only people that really bang with you, Tyler Perry, is the old people on the church bus. That's it. You ain't got Black men on your side. You been ain't had them on your side. Listen, it took Black women a second to drop out. Black men been hated you because you always had Black men dogging out Black women in your film. And at some point, Black women woke up and said, all right, enough is enough. You can't even get our hair right. Got us out here looking crazy. The only people that rock with you, Tyler Perry, are the people on the church bus and some white folk that enjoy seeing the mammification of us. You're sick.
This is a sick Negro.
You're sick. You're sick. You're totally off code for Juneteenth. How dare you invite them to the Black Independence Day cookout? Here we are trying to celebrate Juneteenth, not celebrate the 4th of July. I'm going to take the day off because it's a federal holiday, right? But I'm not trying to have a cookout on the 4th of July. That's what Juneteenth was for. And you gonna invite the pigs? All right. You know, it's the refusal to hold police accountable in your own state for me, because I have been made aware of several instances of police negligence in Atlanta. But you know, Tyler Perry is these. Let me quote for you what Tyler Perry had to say. Quote, now you've got to understand this. I am not for taking money from the police department. I think we need more police, Tyler Perry says. My studio is in a neighborhood where I think we need police. So you only for you. Maybe the police bang with you because you're Tyler Perry. And you can put some money in their pocket or do whatever little political bull crap y'all need to do, swapping y'all little money around behind the scenes. But they gonna shoot and kill us. But you feel like you need more of them down in Atlanta to support your little sweatshop of a studio because everybody's complaining they don't get paid enough when they work for you. I said on Juneteenth, Tyler Perry is just Tyler Perry hearing. It's the tap dancery for me. You know, since you want to appreciate the police, have you ever done anything to appreciate black men or black fathers? Because truthfully, let me tell you, all you do is dog them out in your films. You have them dogging us out in our films. And in the films where the man is treating a woman right, the acting is trash. It's like you put them in a pressure cooker and it'd be like they only be under one take or something. It's cringy. The way that you portray the black man and the way that you portray the black woman, it is trash. The way that you take our globs of our pain points and you slap them in a script with no tact. It's hurtful. It's harmful to us. How dare you make a whole living off of exploiting the pain points of black women and then say, I'm not bringing any black women into the writing room, so you are writing from the perspective of a black woman and you cannot tell our story the way that we can tell our story. That's why this shit looks the way it looks. Trash. From the hair to the acting to the costumes to everything else. That's not the way our trauma works. I remember one weekend last year, Tyler Perry bragged about writing 10 episodes in one weekend like it was a flex, like he produces quality work. It's not. You exploit our issues and our problems, and you're stuck on whatever your mom has, because a lot of Tyler Perry stuff is repetitive. You might watch a play and then watch a film and realize they got different names, but it's the same plot. Tyler Perry, you cannot continuously write stories about black women and refuse to let black women help you tell the stories of black women. This is why we drag you any chance that we can get. Not to mention how comfortable you are being Medea in those dresses, making fun of us, instead of just being the cross-dresser that you are. You ain't got to make black women the butt end of the joke when you dress up as Medea. Just fucking cross-dress. But even that, you've done dirty. Because where did you even get the character Medea from? I know. I've had correspondence with Miss Sophia because you used to hang out at the drag clubs, the gay clubs, and watch the drag skits. And you stole Medea's character from the look, the aesthetic, to the pistol in the purse from Miss Sophia. Is there anything that you can do that's original? Whether you're stealing it from a biological woman or you're stealing it from the LGBT community, what can you do that's original, Tyler? I'll tell you what you can do that's original. You can glorify the police on Juneteenth because that ain't shit that no other nigga is doing but you. Congratulations. Congratulations. So, Tyler Perry is all for self, and his interests are not our interests. Tyler Perry, he's not trying to help. He's not trying to resonate with black folk. Hell, he even kind of left Will Smith to hang out to dry a little bit when it came to the slap. He resonates more with his tax bracket than his race. He's part of the black bourgeoisie. Or at least that's how he feels. And, you know, my closing point on this is that Tyler Perry is helping to fuel political propaganda between state and police. Again, for his benefit only. He wants to make sure if niggas ever get mad enough at him, if there's ever anything going on around him, he can buy the police to be on their side, despite the fact that he needs to be in between holding them accountable and condemning them for their bullshit. It's all about Tyler Perry. It's not for the black community. It's kind of like Tyler Perry operates like a white man up there in his mind. Let me capitalize off these people. Let me suck all of the potent points that I see them make. Let's make a mockery out of it. Let's protect myself. It's giving Uncle Ruckus a little bit. Is it not? That's what I think.
Again.
I see some people in the chat talking about his wife and his baby child, allegedly. Some woman said, or somebody, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if this is a woman. Black woman made Tyler Perry rich, so it's a shifted conflict to be mad at him now because of that. Black woman made Tyler Perry rich. I would say that that's half true. I would love to get into it, but I don't want to get so sidetracked in this video. Black women made Tyler Perry rich. He definitely pandered to us for a while, and it took us a second to wake up from it. Let me tell you something. Just to be clear, I was a child when Tyler Perry was coming out with all his mess. Okay, them bootleg plays to the movies to everything. I was a child. Okay, so I didn't make him shit. But as far as my peoples and them going to go see the plays, you know, Tyler Perry took advantage of a market that he was able to dominate because there weren't a lot of black productions. There weren't a lot of things on screen where you could see a lot of black people participating and acting in black problems and black situations and circumstances. And we felt initially, you know, you got all of these scenes of people at a family function, people at a cookout. Initially, Tyler Perry was giving off this redefined version of a soul food. We don't look at soul food like it's exploitative, right? We look at it like a tactful production. We don't look at Kingdom Come with Jada Pinkett and LL Cool J and Anthony Anderson and them, Black Funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't look at those situations like they exploited us and made us look bad because they had moderation at that time with those antics. Do some of the things that Tyler Perry beats on time and time again, some of the antics, some of the situations, do they happen repeatedly? Or sometimes, yes, but Tyler Perry drills it into the ground. How many times can Tyler Perry dress up in that fat suit and have them fake Medea titties popping up and down and hitting him in his face? And how many times can Medea pull a pistol out her purse and it still be funny every time he's beating it into the ground? So at first, we weren't hip to how he was going to use our points with no tact. At first, it was literally giving a refurbished soul food black family function. You look at the Clumps. The Clumps was 3 movies. That's it. Nutty Professor, blah, 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 fat suits, black family around the table, burping, farting. All right, that was that era. That was that time. But Tyler Perry, he refuses to evolve. That's my issue with him. Because at some point, you had In Living Color, you had Martin and Shanae, you had Big Mama's House, you had The Nutty Professor, and all that other stuff where you would have men dressing up as women. That form of comedy is dated. It's not funny anymore. And if it is funny, it's only funny in short form comedy, not a whole fucking movie. He refuses to evolve from that as if that's all he can do. I've seen Tyler Perry do amazing with The Family That Prays. Amazing film, dynamic film. And it wasn't fixated on exploiting issues in the black community. It was about politics, voting rights, a business, marriages, companies, knowing your worth. It was about a bit more than romantic relationships. And, you know, it was about more than that. So initially, when we got hip to Tyler Perry, it's the same way. There's so many entertainers that you can name. At first, when they came out, it's like, okay, what they doing is cool. But at some point, they keep. Perfect example. Meg Thee Stallion come out, boom, she's shaking her butt. Okay, she cute. Now all Meg does is shake her butt, and people are tired of it. They're tired of it. It's like, can you do anything else? Are you just a one-trick pony? And I'm not saying that to compare her to an animal. That's a figure of speech. When I get to Tyler Perry, are you a one-trick pony or not? You literally went out here and you made a black scandal and called it The Oval. You literally took the whole storyline and plot from Scandal and make like you can't make your own political drama. Nothing's original when it comes to Tyler anymore. And we're tired. We weren't tired at first because he was new. And we were supporting a brother that literally went from sleeping on the streets to making plays. Then he went to the big screen. Everyone loves a success story. And we saw Tyler literally just leveling up. And we wanted to support him as a Black community. But at some point, we got tired because he refused to change. That's the point that I'm making here. That's the point that I'm making. So, you know, yeah, she posted a video today twerking. And I had just opened up my app and I'm like, damn, man, like what's going on? I would like to see Meg do a little more than twerk, but listen, it's her prerogative. What can I do? You know what I'm saying? At some point she'll get older. Maybe she'll grow out of it. But that was just a parallel, right? At some point people get tired. Brianni says, I came in at the right time. Okay, you came in at the right time, but don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Okay, share this joint on Twitter if you can. You're forgetting about support Black people. You're forgetting about support. Black people don't support positive identifiers enough. If we support positive movies, they will do well. But we flock to drama and non-ascension. Again, we talk about the time when Tyler Perry was creating his films. Can you name me a plethora of positive Black films that we were seeing at that time? From 1999 to 2009? I mean, we only have what we have to choose from, what's available. What positive Black movies came out at the time that Tyler Perry was building himself up? From the plays to the movies, did we push to the side and say, no, we're not finna support that? I'm a 90s and 2000s junkie, and I can't really name too many of them. But I do appreciate you thinking critically and independently and challenging my points. I do appreciate that. So keep it coming in the comments. I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, of course we flock to drama. That's why we like the stories. You know what I'm saying? It's better to flock to drama on the television screen rather than reality television. Rather than seeing like real Black people F up their lives and their reputations. Reality TV is a mess. I would rather watch a dramatic movie than to watch real Black people fighting all day, every day on reality television, looking like heathens. Yeah, I'd rather watch a drama film. I'd rather watch the stories in the middle of the day. You know? It's levels. It's levels. But nonetheless, y'all got me caught up with the Tyler Perry tangent. Y'all see how y'all did that? This is your fault. He was throwing these movies out so fast he couldn't. We couldn't see. That's another problem that I have with Tyler Perry. He does not take his time. He puts everything in a pressure cooker and puts it in a microwave because he's had to do that a time or two, and it worked a time or two. Probably more than a time or two. It worked when he was doing those plays and things like that. And he feels like, okay, well, that's my blueprint. I'm going to just make everything quick, fast, and in a hurry. I don't know what writer in this world would brag about writing 10 episodes in one weekend and firing their whole writing room at the same time as if they really like on the top right now. Nobody, because that's not a flex. When your storylines suck, they lack substance. The plot is repetitive. The villain and the butt of the joke are the same all the time. The villain is the Black man and the butt of the joke is the Black woman. When are we going to move past this? And when are we going to make it realistic? Like, when? When? John Q was a good one. We supported that. Don't play. We ain't pushed that to the side. I said, name me one that we pushed to the side. And even some would look at John Q. You catch the right person. They be like, oh, that's not positive. That's a thug holding up a hospital. God damn it. His son needed a heart transplant. That man did what he needed to do. We supported that. Denzel did that in that role. Okay? He did that. He was releasing the movies like how Kitty Kills was releasing Trapped in the Closet. Child, wait until I get into this R. Kelly tea in a second. I want to talk about Taraji P. Henson and y'all thinking that Jane has threads with Tyler Perry. She can make a book dedicated to dragging Tyler. I really could. And it's not me trying to drag him to be mean. It's like, yo, do better. You got the money. You got the resources. You got the studio. You got everything that you need to do what you could do to really do us a service as Black people. And you choose to take the cheap way out, to be lazy, and to write 25 movies a summer and release them over the course of 2 years. I'm sick and I'm tired. No. That last movie on Netflix, Homecoming, I said he can go to hell. I chuckled half a time. You chuckled once. I chuckled half of that. It was a mess. You hear me? The sisters, the cousins I can't. Bye. Okay. James Weeping Bush, get out of here. Not this white chicks count. You know what, girl? Get out my face. Taraji P. Henson, look, let me tell you about how some of y'all feel like she's a mammy. And it hurt my feelings. I'm going to pull up some tweets, right, where some of y'all really felt like she's a mammy. And let me know how y'all feel down below in the comments, because I was really shook. At a lot of people who felt like, hey, Ebony A. Blue, I appreciate you coming through. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button. I woke up the day after the BET Awards to a lot of Taraji slander. And I'm like, when did you all decide behind my back that she's a mammy? Like, when was this? Because it hurt my feelings. Okay, so here's the general consensus, right, that I was able to gather. Is that you all feel like, not you all, right? But there were quite a few people on Twitter as I was exploring the hashtag and searching Taraji's name. You feel like the people who feel like she's a pick-me and or mammy, right? They feel like, well, she's always giving these soliloquies and writing these poems and saying all this stuff about Black men and Black kings and the good Black men out there, but it's not reciprocated. Every time she grabs a microphone, here she go on a positive Black men. I love y'all, da da da. And some of y'all are tired of hearing it because you feel like there's no reciprocity in it. You feel like, when are Black men gathering up themselves together and showing Taraji or Black women in general love? And I'm like, you guys, it's like you damned if we do and damned if we don't. Because if we out here saying, forget Black men, I don't want to give them props. Darlene Wilkins says, yeah, he got born. John Q was good. If we don't give Black men props, if we're not showing them love, then that's not the right thing to do, right? So y'all don't never give us props. Then we do give you props and you call them pick-me's and mammies. But a lot of people were talking about the ample soliloquies that she writes to Black men. And I'm just like, yo, y'all really doing my girl like this? It was hurting my feelings. I'm like, let me start at the beginning of the thread. Let me do that, because I can show you 2 examples of some tweets, but there were a lot more, right? But I don't want to sit here and go through every single tweet that painted Taraji out to be a mammy. But I really want to know what y'all think. Stickies, look, I always tell you, keep it sticky and real. Y'all already know the deal. If you sideways step or whatever the case, you're just gonna be blocked. But keep it sticking around. Let me know. Do you feel like she's a mammy or a pick me? Do you feel like she's talking to trying to reach out or uplift black men too much? Because I'm like, why y'all upset that she's trying to uplift positive black men as if all of them out here are bad? I just don't understand that. Like, I really don't. So I'm like, should loud or vocal woman? Oh no, let me go to the beginning of the thread. I'm like, I was unaware some of y'all think that Taraji is a mammy. I'm shook in a confused way about it. Just hear me out. Like, all black men don't think that Taraji is ghetto. So let's get into the tweet and then I'll read the rest of what I had to say. So someone said, Taraji in her black men speech every time she gets a mic. Black men don't even like her. They think she's ghetto and has weird eyes. The one-sided praise that black women give men must stop. This is why the kings with no kingdom are cock now. I'm like, okay. You know what? The juicy smellier stuff, yeah, I'm not with that. And apparently she was showing love to Kevin Samuels too. I must have went to the bathroom on that part during the BET Awards. And I'm gonna get into another tweet from someone else and what they had to say too, right? And basically they're saying, like, listen, Taraji, you keep trying to uplift these black men, and these black men think that you're ghetto, and they think that your eye looks funny. And I'm like, oh my God, y'all, I haven't seen any black men come down on Taraji's look. I still know plenty of men who drool over Taraji, and I honestly haven't heard of Taraji eye diss in the longest time. I know she's got like a slight amount of like discoloration, like this little brown mark, but I haven't heard anything about that like in the longest time. So I'm like, y'all think, okay, so here's the rest of what I had to say in the tweet. I'm like, so like all black men don't think that she's ghetto. In fact, if you're vocal or keeping it real with a man, right, with a black man, he'll call you loud and ghetto. Now, should she stop showing love to black men instead? I could see if she was a divester and her dating habits didn't align with black men. But like, I just didn't understand the outcry of people so sick and tired of Taraji literally showing love to black men. Like, oh my God. I felt like they wanted Taraji to be on code in giving black men the cold shoulder. I'm like, these are the same men that we asked to protect black women, but we should stop appreciating them because someone said men think she's ghetto. And we really acting like every man thinks that Taraji is ghetto or her eye looks weird. Like, it's crazy to me. This person says the same men that Taraji keeps trying to uplift are busy calling her loud and ghetto. I mean, truth be told, you sitting out here complaining about Taraji, you could be looked at as loud and ghetto, but all you really are is, you know what I'm saying, voicing your opinion. So should loud or vocal women not show love to black men, or are the ladies attempting to get Taraji to stay on coat with the cold shoulder that they are giving men? I didn't watch the BET Awards last year. I really didn't. But I do know that she frequently speaks out about black men, but you know, I'm not synthetic G. Oh my God. But yeah, I wasn't, a lot of people feel like she's a mammy and a pick me, and even a good amount of my Discord does. And I'm like, look, y'all, I disagree. Look, I'm a proud representative of Black Twitter. Someone said, who are these Black Twitter people? I'm too old to understand. Are they powerful? I'm a member of Black Twitter, and I have to say that we are powerful as a collective. Sometimes the way that we band together with a certain consensus, not this one, of course, because ain't nobody gonna cancel Taraji, right? The way that we band together, we do be getting stuff done. Like, we do. You know what I'm saying? With certain people getting fired, the black man who was colorist, I did a video a while ago about a colorist teacher or something. Yeah, we be making stuff happen. So to an extent, yeah, Black Twitter is powerful. And we have to remember that. And that's why I feel like we need to be strategic. Should we be turning on our own and using our power for bad to go against our own people? Or should we be using our power as the Black Twitter collective to really do the work that needs to be done to get people out of here and to get people held accountable for their ridiculous wrongdoings? We got that Juneteenth ice cream off the shelf, did we not? Did we not? She looks like she has a lot of pain behind her eyes, like she went through some things. Yeah, and I know there were some people who feel like, listen, we're gonna call her mammy because she always reaching out to black men. She's always, and I'm just regurgitating what the people say. Okay. She's always got a good black man, an athlete, a this, a that, a common, and then she either don't want him or they don't want her. She can't even keep a man. That's why we call her mammy, because she always reaching out and trying to, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so because y'all feel like she can't keep a man or y'all don't know the circumstances behind why she calls these relationships off or vice versa, or if they amicably split, y'all don't know what's going on. So when people say, oh, she can't keep a man, like, all right, if you're going through 20 people, all right. But sometimes don't tell me I can't keep a man when I left a man because he was toxic and he was causing me hell. He was causing me my sanity. So I'm like, people really don't know. So I don't know. I just don't agree that she's a mammy and stuff. I'm open to conversation. I can't wait to have this conversation on another day as well. I'm gonna bring this topic up again at another point. To see what other people think. I really do want somebody to call in at some point or another and debate with me about why she's a mammy. I would love that back and forth exchange. It's really refreshing for me to have my points challenged in real time because it could potentially shift the way that I feel or not. So yeah, I would love to have more conversations. But all the points that I've seen about how or why she's a mammy or she's loud and ghetto or she can't keep a man, like, what does being able to retain a relationship when you don't know what's going on behind those closed doors? How does that equate with black women as a collective? Because that's what somebody said. Black women are envious because she has access to all these great high earning men. And then she just goes through them and the women are envious. And so that's why they call her that. And I'm like, that's projecting. That's actually a bit of envy. That doesn't have anything to do with being a mammy or a pick-me. It just means you want her sloppy seconds or you want the access and the reach that she has. So, yeah. That's how I feel about it. Let me tell you something. Most men ain't worth keeping, okay? Maybe those men can't keep her, okay? That's the point. What's wrong with being single and getting up every morning? Lord knows when I'm single, let me tell you something. I used to get up every morning and I'll be like, good morning, beautiful black men. Good morning, king. Every morning, just for the hell of it, right? Because just a casual, you're beautiful, gorgeous, or whatever, it feels nice to a woman, whether it be online or in person. So I'm like, let me pour you. It's just good energy. If you feel like you're a good black man or you're a king, like the post, keep it going, comment underneath or not, and that was the way I attracted some of my, bachelors, play dates, and so on and so forth. But it's just energy you throwing out there when you're single. She's single. Why can't she say hello to the good black man? It's not like she's saying, hey, trash. Hey, all you bums that live on the couch with your mom. What's going on? She's saying what up to the positive black man because it's a couple left. We're supposed to just leave all them out in the cold because some women in general feel like you don't get it back. Be quiet. You pick me. No, I know what a pick me sound like. A pick me will go over there with Kevin Samuels and be like, he's telling the truth. He's preaching. We need to do better. We need to do better. Ciao. Hey, trash. She can't talk to the positive black man, so she's supposed to get on stage all the time and say, you know what, the girls don't want me to say, hey, good black men, hey, positive black men, so I ain't gonna say nothing to them. Fuck that. The world is her oyster, the world is her stage, and if she want to remind people that she's single by saying, hey, black men, which will let the good black men, the positive black men know, let me do what I can do to get on her good side. Let me see if I can shoot my shot. And Taraji, not to say in Taraji Ma, she's still young, but you are young until you're 60, okay? Let her live her life, okay? Horny women come at all different ages. Let her get her life off. She don't look desperate. Look, my feelings was hurt when y'all was dragging Taraji the other morning. Let me go to the bush. Y'all hurt my feelings. I said, not my girl. I felt like I was being shot. I'm in the Discord just typing back and forth. I'm like, y'all think she a mammy? They was like, well, sis. Well, 3 people in the Discord was like, sis, look, well. I said, but. I was trying. They think she a mammy child.
It was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments, okay? This next story, y'all, it's not a little bit of a mess. It's a lot of bit of a mess. As if the Jackson family ain't been through enough. As if the Jackson family ain't had enough negative press. Negative press. What is going on now? You know what? Regina King and Taraji will play good sisters in a drama. I think that would be good. Let's get into this story, right? About Michael Jackson's sister. Lord have mercy. Michael Jackson's sister, LaToya. Apparently, she stole Michael Jackson's deathbed pajamas and claims that Michael is haunting her as a ghost. I went to the bush too soon because this is a headline that definitely makes you want to go to the bush. I'm going to say it again. We're going to read the details. Michael Jackson's sister, LaToya, stole his deathbed pajamas and claims that Michael is haunting her as a ghost. Make it make sense. Make it make sense for me. Make it make sense. Yeah, I do think you're young until you're 60. That's what I think. No, but for real, stealing your... And then the ghost. Girl, let's get into these details. Because first of all, and sometimes I thought that LaToya and Michael were twins because they damn sure look just alike. Has the late king of pop, Michael Jackson, been revealing himself to people? Well, LaToya Jackson's ex-fiance, Jeffrey Phillips, who is being sued by the Michael Jackson's estate for allegedly stealing the clothes Michael Jackson wore on his deathbed, claims that they saw the late musician's spirit at their home. So it's her ex-fiance, but it's still their home. Okay. Messy, messy, messy. Producer Jeffrey Phillips is being sued by Michael Jackson's estate for... damn, they sued him over stealing pajamas? Damn! They sued him over stealing pajamas. Oh.
Ooh, stay positive. Okay, I will. No, I had to throw a little shade. I'm shady boo.
Damn, how much they suing him for with them pajamas? Damn. I mean, I guess when you Michael Jackson, you could sue for stealing a Band-Aid, but golly. Oh my God.
That's not funny. That's mean.
Okay. This write-up is hilarious. Jeffrey Phillips is being sued by Michael Jackson's estate for allegedly stealing the clothes off of Michael Jackson's body, the ones that he wore on his deathbed. And it seems that Michael Jackson may want his things back. Please stop playing with me. Please. According to reports, Jeffrey Phillips told associates that he and his former fiance, LaToya Jackson, Michael's sister, encountered Michael Jackson's spirit numerous times at their home. The estate claimed that Jeffrey stayed in Michael Jackson's home following his death, and during his extended visit, he allegedly took clothes, he took handwritten notes, he took a briefcase with business and personal letters, Michael's driver's license. Oh no, you got to go. He need his ass beat. Not stealing Michael's driver's license and Michael's iPhones belonging to him and his children. You took Michael Jackson's iPhone and his kid's iPhone? On Friday, lawyers alleged in court filings that Phillips also apprehended a resuscitator tube that was used on Michael when authorities tried to save his life in 2009 after he overdosed. He stole a resuscitator. Oh, he's a low-down, dirty dog. Who was... LaToya Jackson and her ex-fiance claimed that Michael Jackson's ghost visited their home in a theatrical fashion. Well, I mean, yeah, he was big on dance and theater and acting, and he was a performer. Why would you I mean, he should have ran up in there and beat your ass, you know what I'm saying? He should have went in y'all kitchen and banged all the pots and pans together and opened all the cabinets on some paranormal activity. That's what he should have did. Y'all lucky what you saying, he performed? Girl, this is a mess. This is trifling. They said Michael visited them dressed in the white pearl beads that Michael wore when he was laid to rest. No, people don't tell ghost stories like this. I don't believe you saw shit. I believe y'all want some money off this interview. You want E-News or Entertainment Tonight and Radar Online and them. You want them to show up at your house and start paying for you. You want a show. Is that what y'all want? Y'all want a little reality show? Because I'm not believing this. Not y'all telling us exactly what he was wearing. The lights were out and Michael appeared in the curtains. It was just his face. And then he began to move. His eyes were open and he appeared peaceful, but then he vanished. He came again, and this time it revealed more of him down to his shoulders. Then LaToya shared that she instructed her deceased brother to turn the lights on and asked him, Michael, do you wish to go to the other side? If you're here, let me know. Flick the lights or something. And then according to her, Michael followed instructions and turned the lights on and off. A source explained the former couple boasted about their weird encounters with Michael's alleged presence. You know what, girl? At this point, you playing with the dead, and I hope he come back and haunt you for real this time, because you playing games. You playing games. Girl, no, they did not just tell a little Scooby-Doo ghost thing. Michael don't even F with you because your fiance stole his things. Why would he come in there and follow your demands? Michael, turn the light on and off. First of all, Michael wasn't even like that. Michael had a sense of humor and he was very shady. And if you did him wrong, he wasn't listening to your orders. Girl, who you think you're talking to? Boo Boo the Fool? I don't believe it. I'm just 30 or whatever, but I know Michael better than that.
You're sleepy, the time zones are different, you can't sleep after the show, the adrenaline is up here.
Well, can we just do it again without the negative saying that you don't like the tour? Just 'cause
I don't like it though.
I know, but see,
I go through
what
hell.
Is it setting up though? I don't understand.
I go through hell touring. Okay, then I'll make it positive then.
Yeah, it's just
For you know the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And action, Michael.
I love to tour.
Michael was a shady fellow. If you think you could steal from him, and then get him to turn lights on and off, girl, I don't know who you think you're talking to, girl. I wasn't born yesterday. I was born at night, but not last night. It's like, no, I was born 3:14 in the morning. I was born in the morning, but it wasn't yesterday morning. Because, girl, what you think this is? No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Pam. I don't believe it. Not for 1 second. Not at all. She is out of pocket. Theatrically. Girl, get your melted nose up out of here. Get out of Yeah. You listen, LaToya, you and your fiance over there, y'all need to stop.
Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to grow up. Grow up. Tired of telling y'all to grow up. Y'all need to stop it. I'm tired of it, y'all. You ain't finna wear me out.
A whole scutterbucket hot ass mess, okay? Get LaToya out of here. Get her some help. I don't know what she's on. I don't know what she's off. If she's on medication, they need to change it. If she's off of her medication, she need to be taking it. Something needs to be going on here. All right? Something needs to be going on. This ain't it. Real quick, let me hop into this break for a second and take y'all down memory lane. If my little sister knew I was showing y'all this picture, she would kill me. But her birthday was today. And she posted this picture, and it cracked me up. This was me and her when she was younger, okay? Me and my little sister, okay? She posted this picture on Instagram and her Instagram stories. And when I tell you I saw this, and I was like, girl, why would you post this picture? But I'm like, forget it. Let me just screenshot it and share it with my stickies. Me and her we still are, we're goofy as hell. Goofy as hell. But believe it or not, she used to pick on me. She used to pick on me at my big age and her little age. She knew how to get under my skin when she was a baby. She knew how to hurt my feelings too. But girl, I quickly got over that. But yeah, that is me. And today is her birthday, so she decided to post a throwback pic. I'm like, you're supposed to ask for people permission when you post pictures that are older than like 10 years ago, because somebody might feel like they looked ugly. Like, why you ain't get my permission? I'm like, okay, cool. Then I'm gonna show it to some people too then. How about that? Shout out to her. She was the cutest and the best baby ever. Ever, ever, ever. She was cool. She still is cool. Oh my goodness. That picture just brings up so many good memories. Anyway, let me move on to the next thing. I had to take a break to just laugh at something that brings me so much joy. Anytime she get to posting these old pictures, it stops me dead in my tracks, and I stare at the picture for like 5+ minutes because I'm like, oh my God, look at this time period. Like, where did the time go? But anyway, shout out to her and happy birthday to my sister. So that is that. Let's get into the next story, which is about y'all boy. This is y'all favorite man here. This ain't my favorite man. This is y'all favorite man.
Oh my God.
What's going on? Have you heard about R. Kelly in the news in the last, 1-2 days? Y'all know I've been calling these R. Kelly supporters the P-Hive. And baby, let me tell you how crazy the P-Hive is. They are crazy. One of them got arrested. Imagine being an R. Kelly supporter and being arrested for your fandom because you're unstable. These people are not well. I tweet all the time. I'll be like, the men are not well. The R. Kelly fans are not well. Can you imagine what the R. Kelly fans are being arrested for? And there could potentially be more people underway. Make sure you've hit thumbs up if you haven't hit thumbs up already. And let's get into this R. Kelly information about his fans that are being arrested because they're crazy over him. Male fans too, not even women. Leads you believe like, dang, what did you think you was going to get out of this? Like, never mind. Let's get into it. What up and welcome back. It's your girl Jane, the plainest Jane, and we got some syrup to get into. So R. Kelly, all right, his fans are in the news for being lunatics. I tell you about the PHIve all the time. Let's get into this article because one of his fans had been arrested. So in a live stream YouTube video, Krista Gunn, who is 39 years old, and this is from the Chicago Tribune, all right, he held up a photo of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District Court of New York, urging viewers to, quote, get real familiar with this building, end quote, according to federal authorities, adding that if Kells goes down, everybody goes down. Talking about his king, R. Kelly. Now, this is Debo. If you are familiar, listen, there is an entire ecosystem of people who are dedicated to all things R. Kelly. And I'm talking whether they like him or they don't like him, okay? So I tapped into it briefly when I covered the trial, right? Because y'all remember I got mentioned by the New York Times for my trial coverage, right? But there is a specific ecosystem of people who are invested. And I'm talking like all day, every day. They are checking the court databases and they want to read and figure out every single move that is going on with R. Kelly. A great deal of them are his super fan style. They are his fanatics. You may know Debo as Debo because he does have a channel. And R. Kelly even left a special message on Debo's YouTube one time, thanking him and the fans and whatever else, you know, that jailbirds do if they are able to get in contact with people who will give them sympathy at the very least. Let's get into more details about Debo, who is one of the leaders of the PHIve. Y'all know the PHIve is what I call the R. Kelly fans. Let's keep going. Now, as of early Tuesday, Debo remained in federal custody. Federal custody. Oh, you done fucked up, buddy. Federal custody. It was not clear whether he has retained an attorney. Let's get a couple of more details on this situation. All right. If you haven't already taken a moment to hit thumbs up, definitely make sure you do so. So Debo says, I'm going to show you exactly where we're going to be going. This is according to the court records. Now, 2 minutes into the video, court records state that Debo encouraged viewers to attack the 3 federal prosecutors involved in R. Kelly's case, identified in a criminal complaint as Jane Doe number 1, 2, and 3. Let it be known that these are not Jane Does, okay? These are not Jane Does in the R. Kelly case, as in R. Kelly victims. These are prosecutors, all right? So Debo says, quote, we're going to storm Lady 1, Lady 2, and Lady 3. We're going to storm into their office. Moments later, the court records state that Debo shared a clip of Boys in the Hood, which is a 1991 drama in which one of the men begins to load a firearm as the sound of a gunshot is heard in the background. Let me get into a little bit more information about this situation because this is pretty elaborate and pretty bold to do something like this on the internet that had such malicious intent and then to publish it. Now, according to federal authorities, Debo also made other videos encouraging R. Kelly supporters to gather during R. Kelly's upcoming sentencing, which honestly, it's literally 2:52. It's 3 o'clock in the morning here in Baltimore. R. Kelly is scheduled to be sentenced today. So when they say his upcoming sentencing, they mean his sentencing that's coming down today. You know I'm bringing y'all that sentencing with all the information, right? So make sure you keep it live. Additionally, between February 26th of last year and June 1st of this year, Debo engaged in about 8 Cash App transactions for ammunition, according to the prosecutors. In one instance, the complaint states a Cash App user paid Debo $20 for 30 rounds on the haters. On another count, the court records state a Cash App user paid Debo $20 for 30 rounds to free R. Kelly. Court records do not state when Debo is due back in court. But let me tell you something about federal charges. You're going to be sitting for a while. You're going to be sitting for a while. So also in the video that Debo posted, he said, and this is in the same video where he said, listen, this is where they at. This is where they work at. We going to storm their office. He also said in that same video, if you ain't got the stomach for the we about to do, I'm asking you to just bail out. So he was already setting the precedent, said we about to do some grim, foul stuff. He's announcing on the internet, right, via video, that he is trying to cause bodily harm and or, right, possibly leading to the red drum of the people prosecuting R. Kelly, as if that's going to stop R. Kelly's fate. If you ain't got the stomach to do what we about to do, I'm asking you to bail out. Additionally, the report claims that Debo added a video clip of a group of 4 people who were about to shoot someone. Make it make sense. These are R. Kelly's best representatives, one of the head honchos leading the Beehive, the Free R. Kelly movement, the movement of people who send me so much hate because I read R. Kelly's crimes out loud. In 1991, R. Kelly raped 15-year-old Tiffany Hawkins. In 1994, R. Kelly illegally married a 15-year-old Aaliyah. In 2021, R. Kelly was found guilty for sex trafficking. And he says a victim, right? R. Kelly says he is a victim of a conspiracy and that his accusers are groupies who tried to take advantage of the Me Too movement. This is their king that they are trying to defend. Imagine sending a cash app to someone for ammunition, and this is stuff that federal prosecutors are able to pull up. I mean, hey, maybe Debo was trying to get into the same cell as R. Kelly. We have no clue what goes on in the minds of mentally unstable and unhinged R. Kelly super fanatics. That's what Debo is. This is beyond interesting, but I've always made sure that you all understand how crazy them R. Kelly fans are. I mean, you're literally willing to give your life, your freedom, and your last couple of pennies. Because some of these people be poor as hell, sending money to R. Kelly, looking like they ain't changed their bra in 8 months or took a shower in 2. Send their money to R. Kelly. These are the people that defend R. Kelly and his movement. But listen, Stickies, I want to hear from you down below in the comments. Let me know how you feel about R. Kelly and one of his #1 fans, okay? I mean, he takes anger and he gets his blood pressure up anytime people want to hold R. Kelly accountable or be critical of his sexually deviant actions. Stay king. Any of y'all thoughts, let me know how you feel about it down below in that comment section, okay? I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Make sure y'all stay beautiful, black, and blessed. And I'll see you tomorrow. Deuces. But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on Black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen. Or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there. All right, and we're back. Y'all know the video ain't over. I had to do that because I'm going to slice that video up and distribute it tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure I had a little intro, outro, all that stuff to get that video put out by itself, just that segment tomorrow, okay? So shout out to all 100 of y'all who stayed around here, who knew Jane ain't going nowhere, because I'm not. We got a little bit more time left, okay? It's only about 5 of y'all that left. Nonetheless, let me see. I do want to get into some Black history. I have a really good sticky note to give y'all tonight. Y'all have a really good sticky note coming tomorrow morning around 7:30 a.m. So keep an eye out on the community tab for that. I want to get into a little bit of some viral news, right? The culture vulturism. I got some culture vulturism. I got some Carl Cassidy coming up. Shout out to the Famecom Network for tagging me in some stuff where some people tried it, trying to take credit for Black folk. I want to talk about some of that stuff. in a second. So honestly, we don't have that much longer that I'm going to keep you for, but I do want to get into these things. Make sure you hit thumbs up. I need to run to the restroom really quickly. I'm going to be right back, and we're going to finish this thing out. 2 viral headlines, Black History, sticky note, and then we're done, baby. We are done. We're done. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna be right back. Throw some pancakes in the chat. Use your special emojis if you are a channel member. One thing that I did want to let y'all know before we go on commercial though is number one, I am looking for more Black businesses, new Black businesses to partner with. So if you have any friends, family members who own a Black-owned business, they're looking for commercials, they're looking for places to advertise. I get around about 60,000 views a month. So let your friends know if they own a small Black business and they have a website. I'm going with products and not services, right? So if you have, well, you know what, if it's a product or a service, like if you do like website design or whatever the case is, I'm open to that as well, but I'm definitely open to bringing in more sponsors. I have really reasonable advertising rates. So again, for all of your friends and your family members, if they need some advertisement, I edit and make all of these commercials myself for these advertisements. Definitely let them know and have them send me an email. Okay. The email is at the very bottom of the description box. Tell your friends, tell your families looking for some ad placement to email your girl and hit me up. Also, I have a giveaway coming up for some Beyonce merchandise. You know, Beyonce announced when the website dropped and all those products dropped, right? I pulled out my debit card immediately and bought 4 boxes. I bought 4 of the same boxes, but they were 4. I won't tell you which box they are, right? Because there were 4 boxes that Beyonce came out with. And I purchased 4 of them. I only intend to keep 1. And I want to give away the other 3. So what I'm going to do is that giveaway system is going to work for my members only. One of them is going to be for some of my most long-standing members. So if you've been a member of the channel for the longest time, you are eligible to win a box. One of them is going to be for a new channel member that joins the channel on the mid-tier or higher. You're going to win a box. And I haven't decided how I'm going to give away the 3rd box yet. But keep in mind that if you are a part of the membership, you are eligible to win a Beyonce box because I did order 4 and I'm only keeping 1. Okay. So that's an additional perk for the people who are an existing member of the channel, or if you plan on becoming a new member of the channel. And I think probably 2 will go to existing members. I think that's fair. And 1 will go to a new channel member if you decide to join the membership. Again, if you join the mid-tier, there are only 3 tiers, mid-tier and up. So I've been meaning to let you all know that I did purchase those Beyonce box. If you follow me on Twitter, you already know. But Beyonce merch giveaways, they are coming soon for my channel members as soon as they come in the mail. Today was the last day for anyone to order, which was June. Well, today is the last day, June 29th, for anyone to order the Beyonce giveaway merchandise boxes. The other thing I wanted to say before we hit the commercial is if you haven't already taken a moment to subscribe to the backup channel, please make sure you do so. I realize how important it is with losing my last channel to build 2 channels at once. And I put everything into my first channel and I was left with nothing when it got snatched away. So what I'm trying to do now is as I build up this second channel and I'm almost at 7,000 subscribers, and thank y'all so much for 7,000 subscribers, right? By tomorrow, by the end of today, I will be at 7,000 subscribers. And I thank y'all so much for that because I was only at 4,000 like 2 months ago. Make sure you subscribe to the backup channel. I'll be doing content on both interchangeably, more laid back stuff maybe over there. I'm still kind of deciding. But it is called the TPJ Network. And definitely make sure you subscribe to that channel. Oh, Just Jay is woke. Girl, you did the wrong thing. Let me know that you woke because you know I'm about to end this live soon in about 20 minutes. And you know I want to talk, Just Jay, because we need to talk. So, okay. I just went ahead and you can see TPJ Network in the chat here. That is the backup channel, but it is the 3rd link down below in the description box. Please do your girl a favor. We was over there doing the verses on that channel as well. So make sure you support the channel in all ways possible. We're going to come back and get into a couple of viral topics. We're going to get into some Black news, a sticky note, and then we're going to be out of here. I miss giving y'all the sticky notes. I haven't given you one in a while. So make sure you keep it locked, okay? And we're going to be right back. The following. Matter of fact, I've already played the commercial. Let me play this.
The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
So wait a minute, you ain't joined the channel yet so that you can access special perks over here with the plainest Jane?
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Ooh, watch this. Hey, I'm the plainest Jane. I'm a cultural commentator and informant, and I provide sticky coverage on trending stories, black news, black culture, and everyday topics with a sticky, abstract perspective. So get familiar with the perks. I've carefully curated all of these things, and it's just a little exclusive glaze to amplify the way that you express yourself. So get comfortable, get used to our official emoji over here. That is the pancake stack, because it's always sticky in Hollywood and in real life, and especially when you spend the time over here with the plainest Jane. Like I said, I hope you enjoy the exclusive glaze that I've provided for you to amplify the way you express yourself, and I hope you enjoy the digital vibe. Hey, listen, I always want you to keep it sticky, but be sure to think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. But most importantly, I hope that you're feeling all right, and hopefully you've had some time to tackle some of your invisible problems. I know I got a couple of new subscribers, and I just want to say thank y'all. I really do appreciate you. And if you're not quite feeling all right, this channel right here, once you join, it's going to help you kick back and decompress always, but it'll also keep you in the know with what's happening with the best black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. So again, get comfortable. The first drink is on me, all right? Act like you got some sense, and I'll see you around. But don't forget to keep it sticky 24/7 by following me on Instagram, but hit that notification bell so that you always know when I upload and you get your dose of syrup first. Now, with all that stickiness being said, the most important thing I want you to remember about this neck of the woods and the plainest Jane is Black Lives Matter. And if you don't agree,
buy pumpkin. That would take you out. I don't play that shit.
Now you gotta go for real.
It's just that simple. Hey, look, whether you join or not, I do want you to stay beautiful, black, and blessed. And just know I appreciate your support. I'm your girl, the plainest Jane. And let's see what's happening in these virtual streets. You ready? All right now. This could be a crazy ride. I'm warning you now. And we are back. So let's get into what's going on these streets. You know, when we are on the Black News Bus, we talk about a lot of things, celebrity stuff, world stuff. I might do a separate stream for Roe versus Wade. I felt that there was such an overage of Roe versus Wade coverage and commentary that it was just too much for me to talk about. I do have some thoughts, and I did do a video on Roe versus Wade probably like a month and a half ago, if anyone remembers it. That video didn't do too well, so I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all don't remember it. But I do have a Roe versus Wade video that I did already. And I'm gonna talk about it when I'm ready. But that was just too much noise going on at that time, and the way my personality is set up, just too much. And that's a sensitive subject. It's different between hopping on a trending topic that everyone's talking about, like the slap, hopping on it because everybody. But you talking about something like Roe versus Wade and reproductive rights and so on and so forth. It's a different. But you know, when we're on a Black News bus, which is what this is, we talk about what's going on in the celebrity world. We talk about what's going on in our worlds, and we also talk about viral events and what's trending on social media. So I wanted to get into this subject matter here. Okay. Excuse me. So this is a tweet from, not the tweet was deleted by the author. Oh, why was the tweet deleted? Thank you. Do you see this? This is interesting. Well, I'm still gonna go. I wish I had a screenshot of the original tweet. They caught so much flack that they deleted this. Basically, This was an article from the Insider, and I straight came at him with the quote retweet. You know, when you quote retweet something, you can have your response on top. I put my response on top and some images to prove their ass is wrong. How dare you say that a Latin man, right, some Spanish man up, I can't remember where he was. Was he in New York? I can't remember where he was. But it basically stated that he came up with designs in the hair. He was putting basic designs in men's hair, talking about, oh, he invented these designs. He didn't invent anything. You know how long this has been around? Look at this black and white photo. These designs have been around for the longest time. It's the culture vulturism for me. And it's just so interesting that, look, you click on Beauty Insider. This page doesn't exist. I never thought Insider would be the company, would be the platform to delete their tweets. I'm like, I'm sorry, he created what? This is culture vulturism on full display. Insider, you've lost full credibility for allowing a non-Black person to take Black credit. Because that's exactly what it was. Somebody down below was talking about Kim Kardashian and her plaits and her braids. It's interesting. I should have screenshotted it. When you catch people in 4K saying asinine things, sometimes a screenshot is so much better than anything else because they'll delete it. And you know, not to say that I look crazy because I'm calling them out, but it's like, how dare you say this year in 2022, some Spanish man invented creating these haircuts with the designs? Because I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. That ain't nothing that nobody Spanish that anybody created this year at all. Cut the crap. Cut the crap and cut the cap. A mess. But that's that. That made that story easy. They deleted the tweet because the heat was just a bit too much for them. Let's get into the next thing that I want to talk about. I wish I wasn't running out of time because there's so many viral stories I want to get into, truly. But maybe we'll come back tomorrow and do some more viral stories. All right, so the next story we want to get into is about a karma come and quit. A racist Juneteenth sign at a Maine insurance agency. It caused backlash online, causing Allstate to terminate this business's license. So we take a look, and again, it's karma comes quick. Let's take a look at the sign. The sign said, Juneteenth, it's whatever. We're closed. Enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens. This was the Reed Agency up in Maine. So, yeah. Allstate terminated their, I mean, you know, the thing is, again, it's a holiday where a lot of people have off. It's a federal holiday. Someone said, well, you fixed that. Now, yeah, it could have been my outcry in combination with everyone else, but oh, Progressive dropped them first. Good. Okay. So let's get into what the natives of this area had to say. Allstate said in a statement on Wednesday, we are terminating our contract with this independent agent. Our commitment to inclusive diversity and equity is non-negotiable, and we take action when individuals violate our code of conduct. The state of Maine celebrated Juneteenth as an official holiday for the first time on Monday. The Governor Jane Mills signed a bill into law last year declaring the annual commemoration a paid state holiday. This month, Mills signed a proclamation declaring June 19th as Juneteenth. So this is one of those instances where karma comes fast, but honestly, Allstate and Progressive both canceling the license of this independent agent, truthfully, all of their other licenses should be terminated as well. This is blatant racism. Stop playing. Please stop playing. Stop playing. Nonetheless, I do want to get into, as we move on, and let me know how you feel. Comment down below how you feel about this story. Do you feel like we're taking things out of proportion? For you to say it's Juneteenth, whatever, enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens. You might as well have just put a monkey and some watermelon up there too. You knew what you was doing, and you thought that undertone was so subtle that you wouldn't be held accountable or that nobody would pick up on it. Imagine the racist, antics that transpire when it comes to his clients and his customers. You just got to imagine. Then she came with the piss poor, I got caught apology. I want these people to stand on what they say. I agree. I do agree. All righty. Karma came quick. That was one of those success stories where we got to read about something horrific, but there was some good news packed up in there as well, because you thought you was slick. You're caught in 4K. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. All right. Y'all know what time it is. It is time for the Black History Moment, because we are wrapping this thing up. What I'm going to say to you right now is gather your belongings while you're on the bus. Everyone that's on the bus, we should be off of the bus in the next 10 minutes, okay? So gather your belongings, because trust and believe, if you leave that Adidas track jacket, if you leave them Gucci flip-flops, if you leave them Ray-Bans on my bus, they're mine. Don't come on my bus tomorrow talking about, oh, I lost and found. Ain't no lost and found. The lost and found is my closet. It's mine. Okay? Let's get into the Black History Moment, and then we'll get into the sticky note. Okay? Now, let's spend a little bit of time with our ancestors, or at least listening to them, because they always tell us you don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. So let's get into a little bit of Black history with this Black History Moment.
They got me in the system. Why they gotta do me like that?
I know I can be what I wanna be what I wanna be.
We've got love for y'all, which I don't know. Just
about the people.
get down.
All right, and we are back. Let's get into some Black history today. Happy birthday to the late designer and fashion icon Zelda Wynn Valdez. Okay, so she designed the original Playboy bunny costumes. Let's take a look at these costumes, because I do have an image here, right? So she designed these. When we talk about the start, right? Something that when we think about the Playboy Mansion and the Playboy franchise, we think about white folk. We don't think about us. Who designed these bomb tight net? Now, I'm not glorifying what the Playboy Bunny Mansion and all and the brand stands for. However, when we talk about a corset and some, stuff that fits like a glove, who designed the first amount of that? We don't know. Until we get into this Black history. So she also opened the first ever Black-owned boutique. Okay, Zelda Wynn Valdez. She opened this up in 1948 in Manhattan. So this is something that we never knew. Shout out to Black innovators. Shout out to Black innovations. Okay, next time you see, one of Hugh Hefner's widows or one of his old gold diggers that are still alive or whatever the case is, remember some of the origins of their aesthetic and how and who put them together with these costumes. It was us. Matter of fact, these bunnies these are bunnies of color. We don't realize how much we are actually the foundation of things. We just don't realize that. But nonetheless, shout out to this piece of Black history. I have another piece of Black history I wanted to bring you all for a moment. You see who's on the screen. If you recognize him, let me know. This is Jackie Robinson, and Jackie Robinson remains the only athlete to ever letter in 4 sports: baseball, football, basketball, and track in UCLA history. So shout out to Jackie Robinson for being Black and excellent. It's also Tashina Arnold's birthday, okay? So shout out to her. If you don't know who Tashina Arnold is, that is Pam off of Martin. Today is her birthday, and shout out to, there's just a lot of Martin news going on right now. Seemed like it was great timing. So what is she, 53? She's 53. She was born in 1969, and today's her birthday. So look, shout out to Tashina Arnold. I'm getting to a couple of pictures. What's your favorite episode of Martin? Speaking of Tashina Arnold, what is your favorite episode of Martin? Let me know down below in the comments. Honestly, I can say like my favorite episode, most memorable episode of Martin will probably be when they won that vacation off the back of the cereal box. It's a couple. When they won the vacation off the back of the cereal box. And that little rat was running around the room. And Pam told him to get it. And he was like, that ain't no damn puppy or something. And it was basically calling the rat like Pam's sibling or something like that. That was a really funny one to me. Another really funny Martin episode is when Gina had that allergic reaction during Martin's high school reunion. That was hilarious. But then on the reverse side, when we talk about Gina face swelling up and having a reaction, is when Martin got his ass beat by that boxer and his face was swollen like this. And at the end of the episode, he was asking Gina for a kiss while his face was all swollen like that. And she blew him a kiss because he was looking at him. Martin has a lot of really good funny moments. And let me know if you've seen the reunion. Honestly, I haven't. I think it'll be a good treat because I didn't like rush to go watch the reunion special. So I am anxious to see it. I just haven't seen it yet. So I think it'll be nice when I do actually take a look. Speaking of Martin, have you seen this?
It's Pam. Pamela James.
Girl, you have got to tell me about your night last night.
Same mess. Time and time again. What the fuck?
It's crazy, man. It's like women after women. Draws after draws, dog. GTD.
Yeah. You shouldn't give up so easily, Pam. Huh. You never know. You might find something that's forever. Like me and my Martin.
Like Martin?
You know what? I'm worried about her. I want to see her with someone special. She deserves that.
I'm the love doctor, Tommy. All right. Sometimes love is right where you never expect it. Sometimes love's in your face.
You know what, Pam? Search our whole life looking for a friend. Soulmate.
But Tommy, we can't do this. We're friends.
But what if we gain so much more?
We can't tell Martin and Gina about this.
Is something different?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Something is up. I know when my girl is hiding something from me.
Tommy, what are you doing here?
Came to bring these here.
I'm the happiest I've ever been.
I'm happy for you, Pam. But what about Cole?
Girl, so what? Everybody hates Cole.
You better, I'm telling you, you better. Girl, he's not so bad. You gotta figure out a way to tell him. Girl, something is wrong.
Get out my face.
Shut your ass up, Cole.
Do you even know if Tommy has a job? What does he do for a living? Why can't you ever tell me the truth, Tommy?
Look, Pam, you don't need to know everything.
Then I can't trust you. What are we doing?
Do you know how exhausting it is for everybody to see me as a joke? I'm sick of this shit.
I don't know what he's gonna do.
I don't know what he's gonna do, Pam.
Season 5, Tommy. What the fuck does this even mean?
We boys, right?
We always gonna be boys.
It's Pam. Pamela James.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that? Would you be interested in seeing that? A Pam and Tommy spinoff? Would you expect Cole to be jealous of, you know what? Cole is a fifth wheel. Dang, yeah, he is. Between Gina and Martin and Pam and Tommy. I mean, until Big Shirley came along. It was another favorite episode I wanted to tell y'all about. And it slipped my mind. Oh, the one where somebody borrowed his CD player or stole it, or it was missing. And everybody was wearing black. It was a thunderstorm. He had the fake Rottweilers, the animals, forcing them to get aggressive because he's trying to press everybody at the table wearing black into coughing up his CD player. He felt like somebody stole it. Somebody had it. In the middle of him doing all that, here come Brumman. Had this thing the whole time. There was a lot of good moments in Martin. A lot of really good moments. Some people said, I want to see. I saw it's a trailer. Yeah. It's a trailer. Cole had a second girlfriend. Said I give it one season. Interesting. But yeah, I just ironically just so happened to have that loaded in as we spoke about Martin and all that other good stuff. So that's the reason why I played that. But nonetheless, listen, we've reached the point of the show where it's time for me to give y'all the sticky note. Y'all know that the sticky note is the most important thing, the motivational note that I want to give you all for the day. There were a few more topics that I wanted to touch on this evening, but the show is already running kind of long. So I'm going to just go ahead and wrap it up, give y'all the sticky note, whatever's left over from today, mixed with whatever pops off tomorrow. We going to get into it tomorrow, and y'all know it's going to be sticky. So drop some pancakes in the chat for me, pump me up, while I get y'all this sticky note, and we gonna get on out of here, okay?
Anyway.
Okay, so today's sticky note is this, all right? Self-discovery is your responsibility. It's your job to continually find the best things to satisfy and fulfill your lifestyle, your mind, your body, and your soul. But in order to evolve, it takes initiative to discover the best ways to execute and express those things as it pertains to self-discovery. After all, discovery is the key to evolution. In order for you to evolve, in order for you to grow, you have to consistently find and discover new things and ways about yourself and about life. You won't grow unless you do. How are you going to be grown with the same old mindset? It doesn't work, nor does it make sense. Some situations grow you while other situations grow you bitter. And let me repeat that part. Some situations grow you. They help you evolve. While other situations that you stay in, they grow you bitter. You become angry, you become upset, you become envious, you become furious about everything around you because that situation, you're allowing it to make you bitter. You're not doing anything to untether yourself from problematic variables around you. And outside of the situations that just happen to you, you have to be willing to take initiative to constantly find new things and ways about life as you grow. Some people are complacent with whatever variables come their way every day. They drive to work, they drive home, and that's it. And they're like, well, I didn't get as much as I wanted to get out of my day. I'm not fulfilled. They don't travel. They don't take time off. They don't do me time. They don't do anything. Whatever is just naturally happening to them in their regular endeavors, they're complacent with that. But you have to go out of your way on different journeys to really discover new ways about yourself, new ways about life. That is the key to evolution, self-discovery. And it's your responsibility. Life is going to happen to you. There are going to be circumstances that happen to you, but you have to be willing to explore and go out of your way to try new things and try to understand new ways about life and handling situations, handling yourself, handling variables that you haven't even added into your equation. Self-discovery, it is your responsibility. It's your job to continuously find the things that satisfy you and fulfill your lifestyle, your mind, your body, and your soul. I know a lot of us are afraid to change. It's not just our parents. It's not just our older generation. Sometimes we are afraid of the uncertain as well. We don't know what's going to happen. But sometimes you got to step out and you got to try those new things. And you've got to learn. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in that box of everything that you know and getting everything that you're comfortable and you're complacent. That's what complacency is. I'm scared of everything else. I don't want to implement any risk into my life. I'm only going to do what's safe. And I'm not saying quit your job, release the job. I'm not saying like quit your job and do it. I'm talking small things. If you're a person that is typically afraid of the beltway and you drive on the regular roads, get on the beltway every now and then. You might catch a different stroke of scenery that inspires you. Everybody's different. There's small steps, baby steps, larger steps. I'm not talking investing your savings into Bitcoin. I'm not talking about like that type of risk. I'm talking about doing your due diligence to make sure that you have scratched the itch in your mind and in your body to try new things, to discover different elements of yourself, because you don't know what survival skills you have packed away unless you have leveraged the faith to really step out and try these new things. You're limiting yourself by thinking that you have no other options, by being stuck inside of whatever box or being stuck underneath of whatever label you've given yourself. So self-discovery, it is your responsibility. Some situations grow you while other situations grow you bitter. And outside of the situations that just happen to you that you cannot control, I'm talking about things that are just a part of your daily routine. Outside of that, those situations, you have to be willing to take initiative to constantly find new things and ways about life as you grow. And that's today's sticky note. Hopefully it resonated with you. If it did, make sure you comment down below. I'm doing me, so I know it's real. That is the sticky note of the day. Okay. Hopefully it resonated with you. And I'm telling you, when I craft these sticky notes, I'm talking to myself too. I'm either talking to myself, meaning this is something that I'm working on this week, or I'm going back and I'm reading my journal, my diary, whatever, and realizing this is a lesson I need to brush up on, something I taught myself in January, last year, whatever. And I studied my old sticky notes because sometimes we go through certain issues and we go through certain problems and we forget how we overcame them. There's no way that every problem you've ever encountered in your life, you've never encountered it. just talk about heartbreak. You encountered heartbreak 5 years ago, then you encountered it last year too, and you're trying to figure out how to get over it because you done forgot however you have overcame that hurdle. So that's why I like documenting. I like journaling what I'm going through and what motivational quotes I can come up with to help me, and me sharing my motivational quotes. A lot of y'all be jamming with it. And a lot of times we forget how we've overcome things. So I don't mind rehashing some lessons that I'm either learning now or something that I've learned in the past and sharing that with y'all via the sticky note. So that's the sticky note that's actually, if you scroll way down on the community tab, it's already there, but you're getting a brand new sticky note literally in 4 hours. It's 3:34 in the morning over here in Baltimore, stand up. The new sticky note is scheduled to come out around 7:30 tomorrow morning. Okay. Or today. So it'll be 4 hours from now. You have a completely new sticky note for you all. And you know, sometimes when I give you all these sticky notes, there's sticky notes that I've either posted already or there's sticky notes I haven't posted yet that are scheduled to come out. So I really enjoy those of you all who be watching my videos all the way to the end. When I catch people leaving a timestamp or talking to me about what happened at 2 hours and 19 seconds in my show, I'm like, damn, you really watch my whole long ass show? Because sometimes I feel like they be long as hell. But I missed y'all and I haven't done a long form show in so long. So look, thank y'all so much. I appreciate all of my like fans who really stay up to watch me despite how tardy I be to the party sometimes. Look, I love y'all so much. So look, I'm gonna wrap it up. I know some of y'all need to go to bed. Corey K, you in particular, you need to go to bed because I remember when the stream started and you was saying that you had to work in the morning, but you was staying up for the stream. That was 2.5 hours ago. Take your ass to bed. I need to go to bed soon. But look, be sure to tag me in all your favorite trending topics on Twitter and on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check the community tab. Don't forget to subscribe to my backup channel. It is the third link down below in the description box. If YouTube ever be hating on your girl again, we gonna be over there on the backup channel. But even in between that, we're going to be over there sometimes as well. Don't forget to do something for you today. Don't forget to do something to decompress, something to relax. Let me know your thoughts on all the topics that we have stopped through this evening. I forgot to talk about Caresha. I'm just realizing I forgot to talk about Caresha. That's all right. I'll get into talking about Caresha tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all stay beautiful, black, and blessed until the next video. Don't forget, okay? Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up or down. Either way, I appreciate it. But don't forget to think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me. And also hit that thumbs up button because we can fight if not. Okay? The notification bell is going to make sure when you hit it. I'm sleepy. We getting tired now. I'm finna hit the button. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of this breaking black news and celebrity updates over here on your girl, the Plainest Jane's channel. As we rebuild this empire that we have built already, ain't nothing gonna keep your girl down, okay? When YouTube deleted my little channel, I was hurt. I ain't gonna lie, my little feelings was hurt. As anybody feelings be hurt. Who do you know could work up to 102,000 subscribers and be like, oh, my feelings ain't hurt. I don't care. That's not true. That's not true. My feelings was hurt. It took me a month to get back up off my butt. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here and we going at them. We going at them. But anyway, I need to go to bed. I love you all so much. Y'all stay in positive and good spirits. I'm sending you good energy to get through the day. And I'm going to see y'all later on. Tag me. Anything that's going on that you see popping off on social media, make sure that you tag me. I might know about it. 9 times out of 10, I probably do. But sometimes I don't. So tag me in your favorite trending topics. And I'm going to talk to y'all tomorrow and on Twitter. Deuces. But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen, or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there.